Good afternoon, BookTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. I haven't done a used book haul video in a while. Today is January the 6th, 2025. It's 3:43 in the afternoon. I'm down in the Book Nook. No, this is not the Book Nook. This is my library. I want to show books that I've gotten at the local library used bookstore, the Book Nook. As you know, for a year and a half, our local library remodeled the whole library and they tore out the old Book Nook and they did a new Book Nook, which I made a video of. I'm not going to go into it because time is running short. But I have gone down to the new Book Nook, which is an open space down in the lower floor of the library, and I looked at their books. I don't know. So what this video is a library, a Book Nook used book haul. That's what it really is. And I used to do those, I've done them over the years when I volunteered at the Book Nook, but I haven't done it at the new Book Nook. And today I went to the Book Nook, the library used bookstore, which is about 5 minutes from where we live, and I found some books. And I found some books a couple weeks ago, and I thought I'd show those books. So I'm just going to show you the books. I'm not going to go into great details about them, but you'll see that if you watch my videos over the years, there's a certain kind of, I buy the same kind of books. This is a book I bought at the Book Nook a couple weeks ago, The World That Made New Orleans, From Spanish Silver to the Congo Square by Neil Sublette. And I collect books on American history, on American cities like New York City, San Francisco, New Orleans. I collect books on like Paris, France, London, England, but this book on the New Orleans kind of, I collect books on the South, American South, so I just picked this up. And this is another book like Ancient Cities, The Rise and Fall of Alexandria, The Birthplace of the Modern Mind by Justin Pollard and Howard Reid. Yeah, I collect books on Alexandria, ancient cities, you know, Cairo, Istanbul, Rome, Moscow, Kyiv, Ukraine, things like that. Tokyo, just different. But this looked interesting, so I picked it up. I like books on ecology, environmentalism, Wild at Heart, America's Turbulent Relationship with Nature and Exploitation and to Redemption by Alice Outwater. Yeah, this looked interesting. On a quote here by James Duncan, a concise portrait of nothing less than America's relationship with nature. Wild at Heart makes clear how far we have come in protecting the environment and how far we still have to go. In the span of a few decades, our relationship with nature has evolved into a more sophisticated sense of interdependence. Across the United States, people are taking individual actions like planting native species, are collectively fighting for projects like dam removal, wolf restoration to save our environment. Cities are embracing nature too, with initiatives to reduce our carbon footprint and promote community-supported gardens. So I picked this up at the Book Nook. I collect books on the American Civil Rights Movement. This is Bill of the Century, The Epic Battle for the Civil Rights Act by Clay Reason. On the cover is you have Lyndon B. Johnson, and then you have Martin Luther King Jr., the Bill of the Century on the Civil Rights Movement. I like table books, and this is one, Station to Station, which is a big table book on railroad. Station to Station is a celebration of the life and architect of railroad stations with its evolution, providing highly readable and informative account of the social and political context of stations over the last 150 years. Yeah, I just like I like these books by Pathon. It's a really nice book. It has big photographs of railroad stations, and it's just a really nice book. So I picked it up. And today I picked up a 6-volume set of Bernard Shaw, The Complete Plays with Prefaces. This is volume 6, and then you have volume 5, Bernard Shaw, Complete Plays with Prefaces. This was still in a box from a bookstore. It was in pristine condition. It was wrapped in tissue paper. Bernard Shaw. It was published in 1963. Complete Plays with Prefaces by Bernard Shaw, who was an Irish playwright. Volume 4. And then you have volume 3, Complete Plays with Prefaces. It's in pristine condition, looks brand new, was still in the box when I bought it. Today I bought it. Complete Plays, Bernard Shaw. Yeah, when I was in college, back when I was in my 20s, I was really into playwrights. The theater of the absurd. I was into Eugene O'Neill and things like that. But I've always been interested in Bernard Shaw. The only thing I had in my library was his famous play Man and Superman. And I have Shaw, an autobiography, 1856 to 1898, selected from his writings by Stanley Wardrope. I'm not sure if this is a multiple volume, but I have other biographies of Shaw and I can't locate them. They're somewhere down here in the lower level. So then this is volume 2, The Complete Plays with Prefaces by Bernard Shaw. And then you have volume 1. They're in pristine condition. Look, brand new. They were still in the box, wrapped in tissue paper. And then I picked up at the book Nook, The Fourth Part of the World, The Race to Ends of the Earth, The Epic Story of the Map That Gave America Its Name by Toby Laster. Yeah, I like books on maps. I've shown all kinds of books on maps and map making, and this, it was Duckle Edge. It was brand new. It didn't look like anybody even read it. So I picked it up, The Fourth Part of the World. So I picked that up. And then I picked up this book, The Irons, Britain's Naval Supremacy and the American Revolutionary Economy by Richard Buel Jr. I do collect books on American history, American Revolution, American Revolution, you know, and this is around that time period. The Irons, Britain's Naval Supremacy and the American Revolutionary Economy. So it looked almost like nobody even read it. but I'll add it to my early American history collection. This is, now you're going to have to forgive me, I'm terrible at Russian names, but this is Shostakinsky, who wrote in the Gulag, and he wrote all kinds of novels. He wrote one called 1914, and this is the second volume. 1916, there's a picture of him in the back. We all know who he is. This is his historical fiction on the Bolshevik Revolution, Russian history. This is November 1916, The Red Wheel. 2. I have the other volumes in my library, so I picked this up at the Book Nook. I really want to read this. And then I picked up Jungle, How Tropical Forests Shape the World and Us by Patrick Roberts. Yeah, I like reading about jungles, ecology, environments, and we always hear how the destruction of the Amazon jungle, how it's going to affect the worldwide, our environment worldwide, and how important that is. Jungles and areas and they're being destroyed, and so I picked this up. So yeah, I picked this up at the Book Nook. I collect books on Theodore Roosevelt, and this is Theodore Roosevelt for the Defense, A Courtroom Battle to Save His Legacy by Dan Abrams. Yeah, this is for my Theodore Roosevelt collection. I collect books on FDR and Theodore Roosevelt. I collect the writings of Theodore Roosevelt. He was a writer himself, not only a president and secretary, I think, of the Navy at one time, and he was the head of the police department in New York City back there in the early 20th century. But he fought what we call the antitrust and breaking up the monopolies. Today I picked up at the Book Nook this book, which is The Realism of Berenice Abbott-Documentary and Photography and Political Action by Terri Weissman. I just showed you, I found at the Book Nook a big volume of her table book of her photography of New York City back in the time of the Depression, and this is looking at her looking at her photography and looking at her history as a photographer of New York. And I just wanted to add it to my collections. It has still I have a biography of her in my library besides that big table book of her photos of New York City during the Depression. Here's a picture she did of James Joyce. She lived in Paris for 7 years. She was assistant to Man Ray, a very famous photographer. And she knew in those inner circles. She yeah, so I bought that. This book was kind of expensive, like $15, but it's a University of California Press, and I wanted to know more about her. And then I picked up this novel at the Book Nook, Natural History by Carlos Fonseca, translated by Megan McDowell. He was born in Costa Rica. He spent half of his childhood and adolescence in Puerto Rico. He is an author. He teaches at Trinity College, Cambridge, and lives in London. I like South American writers, Caribbean writers from Spain, Portugal, Brazil, Argentina, Chile. So pick this up, Natural History. So those are the kind of books I found at the Book Nook. I do have mixed in here books I bought at thrift stores today. I'm not going to show those. I'll just show you these books I got from the Book Nook, and these books I got from Goodwill, Action House, Gateway thrift store. I'll show in the future video. But I just want to show you. Yeah, I got these Bernard Shaw 6 volumes for $25. And as I told my wife the other night, we went out and got take-home pizza from Papa John, and that cost us $45 just for one pizza and breadsticks. And you pick up the 6 volumes of Bernard Shaw's complete plays with prefaces, perfect condition, 1963, pristine condition for $25. I mean, all these books I think came to about 40. I paid 25, maybe around $65 for all these books, and can't go wrong. So yeah, I have other books, but I'll show those in future videos. So today, like I said, is January the 6th, 2025. Remembering January 6th when we almost had Trump almost overthrew the government, and now he's our next president. Isn't that kind of crazy? A president who wanted to overthrow the government, caused an insurrection, was going to assassinate the vice president and take over and destroy democracy, is now our president, is going to be inaugurated as our next president. This seems kind of absurd to me. So not much else going on. I'm still reading my Christian books, Lutheran spiritual classics, and I'm feeling better today, which is unusual. I didn't take any Xanax today. Now tomorrow I see my psychologist. Like I said, when I see my psychologist, we just sit and talk, like I'm talking to you in this video. I always bring a book with me when I go to see my psychologist, and he'll ask me, what are you reading? And then we talk about what I'm reading. We'll talk about just whatever's on my mind. The session only lasts really about 50 minutes. And if you know me, I can sit down and talk about nothing in 50 minutes. But since I do have time here, no, I'm not going to show you. I'm still rereading Going Native by Stephen Wright at night. I'm still reading that, and I'm still reading Robert Walsher, his short stories, Little Snow Landscape. And I'm still reading Robert Walsher's The Assistant at night. When I'm not in the mood to read something that's not academic or religious, I read Robert Walsher and his short stories, I think I have other books up here by him. I don't know. I have his biography, Clairvoyant of the Small, The Life of Robert Walsher by Susan Bernzowski. I haven't started reading this yet, but I do plan to in the year 2025. So I'll sign off. Like I said, I'm doing better today. Thank you for your prayers. I got tons of new books came in the mail. I really bought a lot of books from Amazon that I've been wanting for a long time. That they're mostly Christian books. As you know, I'm into Christian spirituality. I like reading the writings of people of the past who were devout Christians, theologians, people, things like that. So I got a lot of those books coming, and they're on my desk upstairs. So I'm rambling. This is 20 minutes. So once again, I do thank you for subscribing. I know I'm kind of being presumptuous when I say, well, I have 6,000 subscribers, and I know that fluctuates. I could have less next week, and so that's why I don't bring up my number of subscribers I have, because they fluctuate. But I just thought I don't really look at. Now, I am thankful that people do watch me and subscribe to me, because I do love books. You can see all the kind of books that I buy, all kinds of books. And you can look around here behind me are tons. These are not Christian books. These are all secular books. As you know, I'm into American history, East European history. I'm into biographies. I'm into fiction. I like art books. I collect writers like Faulkner, Steinbeck, Henry James, Saul Bellows. Just goes on and on. Like today, I picked up another novel by Joyce Carol Oates. I picked this up at a thrift store today, and I have a paperback of it. But I thought, I didn't know if I had it. It didn't look familiar, so I bought it. I have like 40 books by Joyce Carol Oates. As you all know, she's a very prolific writer. She's one of my favorite writers, Joyce Carol Oates. So I picked that up. I also picked up today a book that I had that I collect. I collect writers. I collect the writings of John Bainfield. And I picked this up at a thrift store today, and I have it already in my collection. But I collect writers. I didn't have well, I had this one. I think I have it in paperback, so I picked that up. So that's the kind of books I look for when I go to thrift stores. I picked up today Langston Hughes, very famous essayist, poet, the Harlem Renaissance. This is his autobiography, The Big C, by Langston Hughes. I collect his poetry, his memoirs, biographies, his essays. He's one of my favorite American poets and writers, Langston Hughes. Those are the kind of things I collect. So anyway, this is 23 minutes. I got more books over there, just piles and piles of it. And I got piles of books upstairs on my desk. But as you know, if you're a bookworm, a book lover, there's never enough books. And so yeah, so I hope you're having a good reading week. This is a Monday, so we're in the beginning of a new week, and I'll download this video tonight sometime. And I'm still writing in my diary, paper diary. I think I'm on page 16 or page 17 for the year 2025. And yeah, so I'll close. Once again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your prayers. Do pray you have a good reading week, and may the Lord bless. Until next time, bye.